Hey guys, Ken with Provectus Group. We have something really awesome to talk to you about today. We are rounding out finishing up our basic pistol series. It was a total of 6 videos, went over the fundamentals. That series came out really good. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you go and check that out before you come here. But after you've done that, you've learned the stance, your grip, sight alignment, sight picture, all those different things, trigger work. Now it's, all right, now how do I put all that together? And that's what we're going to be discussing over the next 3 videos. And the first thing that we're going to work on is we're going to work on acquiring the sight. One of the biggest things, or one of the first problems that we usually see with newer shooters after they've learned the fundamentals, is they have a hard time acquiring the sight. So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate that fundamental of acquiring the sight, because if you're only having a problem with one thing, let's only work on that one thing so we can see some exponential results. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to break down the fundamentals, and I'm going to essentially show you how to isolate your fundamental to work on specific things. And that specific thing that we're working on today is acquiring the sight. Let's go. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, again, we're going to isolate the fundamental of acquiring the sight. The reason why that's so important is because we cannot take an accurate and/or combat effective shot until we have actually acquired the sights, aligned them with each other, and then align them with the target. So this is extremely important. Now, in order to isolate this fundamental properly, there's no need for you to come from the holster. There's no need for you to worry about acquiring your grip, because where this drill is going to start, the gun's already going to be out of the holster. You're already going to have a good dominant grip. And the only thing that we're going to have to work on is actually acquiring the sight. Let me show you how we start this drill. I'm standing in front of the target. This is absolutely a drill that you should start doing at home. What you want to do is you want to stand in front of your target. I'm about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. And I want to go ahead and get a nice dominant grip with both my primary and support hand. The next thing is I want to start with the pistol directly in front of my chest. It's on my center line, okay? And it's along the route that I'm going to take if I was coming from my holster. So I'm right-handed. If I was coming from the holster and it was an outside the waistband holster, I'd be coming from over here. So that route that I'm coming from the holster would come from my side. If I'm carrying appendix inside the waistband, the route that the pistol would take coming from the holster would come from here, okay? So what I want you to do is, if you're primarily training for outside the waistband, your starting position won't be on the center line. It'll be a little over. You know, if you're right-handed, it'll be a little over to the right. If you're left-handed, your holster's on the left side, it'll be a little bit over to the left. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm right-handed. I'm going to go ahead and train as if I was going to come from outside the waistband. So I'm not on my center line. I'm just over to the right just a little bit. And I'm coming back to where the pistol, the back of the pistol, is about 5 to 6 inches away from my chest. After I found that starting position, and this is important, take your time finding that starting position. After I found it, I can now start the drill. And all I'm doing is I'm going to slowly and precisely start from this starting position, and I am presenting the pistol towards the target. I can see my front sight. Now I see my rear sight, and they're now aligned with each other. And they're also aligned with the target. If you noticed, the speed that I was using was nice and very slow. It's extremely important that I'm going slow enough to ensure that I'm doing the technique correctly. It's important that we go slow enough so the conscious part of the brain can keep up with what's going on. It can ensure that the technique is correct, and because we're going slow enough, we can actually see everything that's going on. I'm going slow enough to see my sights. I'm going slow enough to see that the route that I'm taking from my chest to fully present it. It's a very efficient route. You know, I'm not starting here, dipping down and then coming up. I'm not starting here, going up and then coming down. I'm not starting here, going to the left and then having to come back right, or going to the right and having to come back left. I'm very efficient with the movement. I'm going straight from here. I'm taking the most efficient route to the target. But it is crucial that the speed at which I'm going is slow motion. And again, it's so that I can ensure that the technique is correct. And then lastly, and the most important reason, is because every rep that we're doing, we are teaching the subconscious part of the brain what to do. The subconscious part of the brain is what's responsible for kicking in when fight or flight is kicking in. And if we're training for self-defense, we're going to be under freeze, flight, or fight when having to defend ourselves. So it's important that we train ourselves correctly now. Okay, so I'm just going to go through it. I'm just going to act like I was at home and I'm doing this drill on my own. Now, regarding reps and how many reps that you should get, when you do this for the first time, I want you to shoot for a minimum of 500 repetitions. It doesn't take too long to get to 500 reps, especially when you're doing it this way. Now, I know it might sound like a lot. Trust me, make sure that you do these reps correctly and exactly how I'm explaining for you to do them. If you do that, you're going to experience exponential results, not just, yeah, I'm a little bit better. Exponential. Okay, now something to note is every time I go up and come back down, that's 1 rep. Another thing that I really want you to focus on is the exact route that I'm taking to present the pistol is the exact route that I want to take coming back to the starting position. It's almost like getting 2 reps in 1. This is extremely important. Okay, so again, that's the drill. What's important to remember is that we want to shoot for at least 500 repetitions. Regarding how fast you should be going, you should be going very, very slow. You want to go slow enough to make sure that the technique is correct. Now, when you get to the range, I want you to do the exact same technique. Do about 20 reps dry. And then I want you to load the gun and then present and then fire 1 round. Then this way you'll be able to transition from doing that dry fire and then transition to the live. So again, remember, you know how many reps to do at home, you know what speed, and then now you know when you get to the range, you want to make sure you're doing the exact same technique. So I like to do about 10, 20 reps, just like we were doing dry, then load it up and then come up and fire 1 round. After that, unload it again, come back up, do 10 or 20 more dry reps, and then come up and do 1 round. This is a very, very good way to transition from doing dry fire to doing live fire at the range. And what's wonderful about it is, you know, a lot of indoor ranges, they have a lot of rules regarding how you can shoot and that kind of stuff. And for most ranges, they will allow you to do this exact drill. So hope this helped you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Love you, peace.